You can hear this female student off screen claim that it's fine if a male takes out their genitalia in that room. Like, they have the right to do that. You can't make this up.
You wouldn't be uncomfortable if somebody like myself walked into the locker room, you were 6 feet away from me, and I just pulled my...
That's fine, that's your right.
This is from a conversation that was recorded 3 days ago, and this is the reality of where we are.
That's all I have.
It's your right to pull your piss out in front of women?
Well, that's public exposure.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I do. That's a matter of...
Is it, why?
That's a really weird opinion.
She says, well, that's just a matter of opinion.
Okay, well, I do. That's a matter of...
And that might be your opinion, but your opinion does not get to determine the law for everyone. That's why this is so important. The good news is that if you just lay out the strategy, you can anticipate all of this every time, because it's always going to be the same talking points.
A woman is somebody who believes herself to be self.
Okay. So let's test that logic now.
So this is what you're going to get. Move one. What I believe I am, I am. Let's disprove it.
A woman is somebody who believes herself to be basically a woman.
Therefore, it is subjective. How do we counter that?
Am I a lizard?
No.
I believe myself to be a lizard.
No, you don't.
All right, and there's the counter that you're going to see. No, you're not sincere in that belief. How do you judge sincerity?
I do. Okay, let me ask you this. How about this? Wait, hold up, David. We'll just test this real quick.
So then he pulls up an example of a person who does genuinely believe they are a lizard.
Is this a lizard?
Who is that?
It's a lizard.
pretty cool.
Is he a lizard?
And this guy has no response to this, so what's he going to do? He's going to try and stall by for time. Well, he's cool. All these comments that have nothing to do with the question being asked.
That's pretty cool.
Is he a lizard?
I'd call him a lizard. He's pretty cool.
Okay, and so you think that this person should be looked at and identified as a lizard by anybody who he wants to be identified as a lizard by?
I see the word lizard man.
What is a lizard man?
Is he a lizard?
He seems to be a lizard man.
Okay, is it true that he's a lizard?
I don't know anything about this guy, but...
Think about the logic here. If he knows enough about this guy, he could determine whether or not he's a lizard. It's possible that he could be a lizard.
He's identifying as a lizard. Is he a lizard?
Is he?
You should be able to say, no, that's not a lizard. That's a human being. He's genuinely contemplating this question, though.
Is he a lizard? We went off your definition to be charitable.
This is a guy at Ripley's Belief.
Yeah,
This is what it looks like when someone is just trying to pivot and circumvent and buy time. They do not want to answer the question.
is that just because you identify as something does not make you that thing, right? I could identify as a cat and eat out of a cat bowl right now. Doesn't make me a cat. I'm still a human being.
Identify as a black person, right? Does that suddenly make me black?
This is one of the best counters you can provide.
I think that there is a difference in this case when we're talking about gender roles.
Okay, why? Notice he doesn't actually explain why, though.
But I wanted to hear your definition of it, too.
Yeah, my definition of a woman is just simply an adult human female.
Right. Now, if we're I'd like to actually talk... Here's the thing about trans issues, right? Mm-hmm. Trans issues are something that objectively divides the country. Do you agree on that?
Sure.
So?
That means that there is a significant portion... There's a significant portion of the country that has strong feelings that transgender people are highly valid.
What does it mean to be valid? If a high number of people believe that they were lizards, would that make them lizards?
Is this a lizard? He's transitioned to a lizard.
I would appreciate it if you didn't cut me off.
Go ahead.
A man can become a woman, we understand that, but does that make them a woman?
This is the issue at the heart of all trans debates, because it's going to come down to policy and law.
Okay, here's what I would say. If that lizard person that you have identified here, which is ridiculous, but if that lizard person...
I would say it's ridiculous to dress up like a woman.
Was miraculously transformed into a reptile, then...
Yeah, but do you see the problem here? Is he's tattooed scales on his body, and he's forked his tongue so that he looks like a lizard.
That's awesome.
When a man transitions to a woman, they don't magically become a woman. They dress up like a woman and pretend to be one. You see how there's a difference there?
There's a study. There are studies from 2022. I can pull it up if you'd like, if you want to get into studies, saying that the brain chemistry of trans women are more similar to cisgender women than they are to cisgender men.
This is the Professor Dave argument, and there's some dispute around whether this is true, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. What's the point? So it doesn't make you a woman. You're still not an adult human female.
If we're arguing if we're arguing over definitions, you're going to lose any actual substantive debate, man. I want to actually talk with you about this.
Well, the problem that we have is that you say that anyone can become a woman as long as they identify as that. That means that if I just claim to be a woman right now the way I am, I can suddenly walk into the girls' bathroom here. That has an effect on policy.
And there it is. That's the heart of the conflict. It's about the laws, policy, where the rubber meets the road.
But we can't have a debate about policy until we have a definition about the words, because if a woman means something else to you and it obviously means something different to us, which is a generally accepted term, then we can't have a debate about the policy, because you'll continuously tell me that anyone that just identifies as a woman is a woman. But that's not true.
Well, I think
it's objectively not true.
I have this new sponsor that I'm genuinely really excited about, Bearskin Tactical. Smart people are locking in their winter gear right now while it's on sale. Bearskin is running a 60% off deal right now, but only if you get your hoodie early, which is the hoodie I'm wearing right now. This hoodie is built like a tank. 340 GSM microfleece, 10 pockets with a clean, rugged fit that looks awesome. It zips right into the heavy storm rain jacket to become 100% waterproof when you need it. So when it turns cold, wet, and windy, you're not scrambling last minute. You'll get free US shipping, fast delivery, and you've locked in your winter gear already. It's a win-win. Do yourself a favor, text the word Warren to 36912 to lock in your 60% off. Again, text Warren to 36912. You'll get a link sent straight to your phone so you can check it out later if you're busy right now. When you buy Bearskin, you are supporting the Fallen Outdoors and the Hope for the Warriors Veterans programs. So you're not just buying cool gear, but you're also backing a cause that's important. Don't wait till you're freezing to realize your hoodie sucks. Get a Bearskin now while it's 60% off. Text Warren to 36912. If I walk into a women's space, they can call the police. Tomorrow, if I decide that I'm a woman and I walk into that same space, can they call the police? It's about, am I a woman under the law? It's not about, am I valid? Are my feelings valid?
I feel like what the last thing that this country needs is people trying to restrict freedom of expression here.
We totally agree.
100%. Unfortunately,
So
we
therefore
got
trans
kicked
women
off a campus.
So therefore, trans women are women? Is that what you're going to say?
This is the next move you're probably going to encounter.
What actual policy impacts does it have then?
Bathroom, sports.
Do you know, according to the NCAA, how many trans women in sports there are?
He's going to make the next standard attack. The number of trans people in sports is very small. Ironically, this is kind of countering their own argument because, okay, well then why are we changing the entire legal definition of man and woman under the law for a small number of people?
The NCAA found that in the entirety of America, the number of trans people competing in top-level sports is less than 10.
And I found that the amount of murders committed every single year are less than 1% of the population. Does that mean we should murder's fine, don't make it illegal?
This is not about the frequency or the number. The law affects everyone.
Would you be scared?
Of the 10 college athletes,
You wouldn't be comfortable?
how many of them have sexually assaulted somebody else within a locker room?
I don't care.
We're rolling your eyes after.
I believe the number is two.
It's not, I don't care. My argument doesn't hinge on that. It's irrelevant.
Think about what this would legally allow a man to do if he was so inclined. A guy with a beard could just decide he subjectively feels like a woman and now have legal access to those spaces.
You wouldn't be uncomfortable if somebody like myself walked into the locker room, you were 6 feet away from me, and I just pulled my...
Fine, that's your right.
A student off screen, a woman claimed that, well, you have the right to take out your genitalia.
And that's fine, that's your right.
That's all I have
It's your
do
right
is
to
just
pull your penis out in front of women?
Well, that's public exposure.
I don't think so.
Okay, well I do. Doesn't matter.
Is it why?
That's a really weird opinion.
And if you bring up real examples of where this has occurred in real life, the tactic is to accuse you of bringing up extreme examples that have never happened.
You are using the most extreme examples which have never happened to justify policy.
They have happened. I just gave you specific examples of them happening.
Then if you do show examples, well, you're just showing anecdotal evidence to reinforce stereotypes.
Do you have a female friend?
I do have a female friend.
Okay, if she came to you and said the exact same story, I was in the locker room, somebody that identifies as a woman, that's obviously a male, started to unchange next to me, undress, and I saw his penis.
And it's not even just that either. It's you're standing in front of this guy with the penis, and you're naked too.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean,
No. And she came and complained to you. What would you tell her? That she's wrong? That she's sick?
What I'd tell her is that locker rooms are architecturally designed in such a way that no two people who are changing have to necessarily
No, they're not.
So then he just makes the common argument of, essentially you should just get over it.
go into like a bathroom.
Right. Their locker room didn't have those.
I'm a club sports member.
These arguments are so standard and just so ingrained in this ideology that you can learn to anticipate them. You know they're coming.
You ever seen a locker room? They're like built into the wall. Each person has a cubby, right?
Yes.
Right. So you're all standing shoulder to shoulder next to each other, getting naked, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You see how that could be uncomfortable for a woman changing next to a man? In a wet race suit that's the size to like fit an American Girl doll that takes 20 minutes to get in and out of when it's sopping wet.
20 minutes, guys.
And how does he counter this?
It takes 20 minutes to change
Yes.
a swimsuit, folks.
Okay, let's say it takes 5 minutes. What's your point?
Somebody has had their genitals, like a trans woman has had their genitals surgically reconstructed so that they are, let's say, identical to the other genitals of the woman on the team. Or at least
Okay.
visually identical.
Yeah.
Sure.
Still a man.
Why would they be uncomfortable with that?
You have to keep the rule. Doesn't matter.
Like, why would that make
You have to keep the rule.
You have to keep what rule?
The rule that men aren't allowed in the women's locker room.
But
One of my buddies is a big fan of the show.
that I don't agree with the rule to begin with.
It's not a matter of would I allow it, it's are we going to redefine the laws? This is an argument that is so predictable. Once you just learn those moves that they're going to make, you know where they're going to go before they even go there. It's pretty easy to actually navigate. It's the same pattern over and over.